Starting November 1st, routine monthly SNAP payments are going to be paused if the government shutdown keeps going. This puts 42 million Americans at risk of losing food stamp access. That's about 1 in 8 people in the country. Put in a different light, that'll be about 16 million kids, 8 million people who are older than 60, and 4 million adults with disabilities. These payments also keep food on the shelves of local stores. SNAP typically moves about $8 billion a month through more than 250,000 authorized retailers. When these benefits stop, that cash flow stops too. Now this is historically unusual. SNAP has made it through recessions and pandemics and other government shutdowns without this kind of program-wide pause. With such an unprecedented happening, people are eager to figure out why this is happening. They're also looking for who to blame. And that question, depending on who you ask, has wildly varied answers. Alright, here's what this clusterfuck looks like. The House of Representatives passed a clean continuing resolution in mid-September to keep funding at current levels into November of this year. The Senate, however, hasn't been able to advance that same bill. That's because generally you need 60 votes to cut off debate and move forward. Currently, Republicans only hold 53 seats. So they need to find 7 Democrats or independents to side with them on this, and right now they can really only find 2. So why aren't Senate Democrats joining? Because they're demanding that health protections be added to the resolution before they'll reopen the government. Democrats' 2 big asks are pretty straightforward. 1, extend the enhanced ACA premium tax credits. These tax credits, if allowed to expire, are going to cause healthcare costs to spike for 22 million Americans. This spike will cost, on average, a family of 4 an additional $2,400 per year. 2. Reverse or soften recent Medicaid cuts in the One Big Beautiful Bill that put 11.8 million Americans at risk of losing healthcare coverage. Put bluntly, Republicans said, take this CR and reopen the government now. Democrats responded with, not unless you live up to that MAHA tag and actually protect people. Because of what I just said over the last minute and 45 seconds, we are at an unreal standstill. This shutdown is now the second longest in modern US history. Congress has failed to pass a short-term funding fix, and the political blame game is on overdrive. One unique weapon I see being wielded right now is the use of political messaging on official .gov domains. Take a look at USDA.gov right now, and you'll be greeted with this message. Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. We are reaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for healthcare for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutritional assistance. That statement is buck wild, let alone the fact that it's on a .gov domain. The second half of it is littered with lies trying to push blame onto the Democrats. Senate Democrats are pushing for healthcare benefits for enrolled citizens. The ACA and Medicaid exclude undocumented immigrants from enrollment. Feel how you like about that statement, but it's a fact. That line about gender mutilation is just fucking brain dead, and is indicative of the Republican strategy of obfuscating again from the point. The point is, what they're actually pushing for is removing care from millions of American citizens. Understand that. This line is not them talking about trans anything. They are talking about removing healthcare assistance from mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us. Kind of ironic, isn't it? As Shakespeare, or some other dude from the Eastern Hemisphere probably once said, turnabout is fair play. On a few state-level SNAP benefit sites, they have taken to blaming Trump and Senate Republicans for the loss of benefits and the shutdown overall. Many recipients will be pointed to their state-level website, and I think it's a good call to try and combat the narrative being pushed by the federal government here. So, what do Americans think? Polling shows that the public currently pins the blame on President Trump and congressional Republicans more than Democrats. Roughly 45 to 46% blame Trump and the GOP versus about 30 to 33% blaming Democrats. It seems as though consensus at the moment lays blame at the feet of the Republicans.